Hello everybody, welcome to Project Beauty, where we talk about project planning and everything beauty related. My name is Jen. I have just ordered and received this ABH Norvina Collection Volume 5. Volume 5, I can't believe it. They had back to back brought out 4 palettes a couple years ago and haven't released anything until this one. And I'm really excited to try this on. But what I want to do for you guys really quickly is just do a really quick swatch video so that you can have a look at what these eyeshadows look like, have a look at what the eyeshadows or pigments, what they actually look like. This is the outside of the palette, and then it looks exactly the same as what's on the front of the box, which is really, I love this color, I love this aesthetic, it's really cute. The pattern is a little different. It doesn't have any real rhyme or reason to it. I don't know, whatever's going on there, but it looks cute. Again, comes with a full mirror and one of the plastic inserts, and these are all the eyeshadows and pigment colors. So I'm going to go ahead right into swatching all of these for you on my arm. I'm going to start off with my Sedona Lace EB13 brush, and I'm going to take that in the shade A4 and A5 mixed. So I'm going to go up in with both of those, A4 and A5 together, and then I will be blending them out and adding product back on separately. So we'll just start with a little bit of A4 and A5 combined, and I'm just going to apply that to my crease. And I'm going to go quite a bit higher up than I normally do, because I want to bring these shadows up really high. There's not too much of a brow bone shade in here except for a stark white, and since I'm slightly tanned, white looks super bright on my skin right now. I'm not like the darkest I could be, but it still is definitely noticeable. So, but I want to use everything in this palette. So just combining these shadows are so beautiful. Well, they're actually pressed pigments. I believe all of them are pressed pigments, if I'm not mistaken. Do I have the box? I have the box here. Let's take a look. So 25 deluxe sized high performance shades. It says that there are pro pigments. Oh no, let's see. There are eyeshadows. It looks like it says pro pigment palette, then it says eyeshadows, and then it says A1 ingredients and pressed pigment for face and body. It looks like there's quite a few on here that are not for the eye area. I will be putting them around my eye area, obviously, but you do you. That's at your own risk. I'm not telling you to do this. So if you buy this and you want to put this around your eyes, that's all on you. Don't do as I do, is all I'm saying. So A3, A4, A5, so I'm using A4 and A5. Those are apparently not intended for around the eye area, and that is because of staining, I believe, and the dye that's in it. B2, B3, B4, C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, D2, D4, D5, E1, E2, E3, E5. So pretty much most of the palette is not intended for the eye area. Though it is called a pro pigment palette, and that is because it's essentially for, it says face and body, so that's a lot of tiny little multicolored, crazy colored blushes, I guess. Anyhow, I'm just gonna go ahead and continue packing this on my eyes, and just let you guys know, like, just use this again at your own risk if you decide that this is something that you really want. I am a huge fan of the Norvina line. I know a lot of people were either put off by the fact that they came out with so many at first, or they're too similar-ish to the ABH line, but I'm not a fan of the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palettes. I do not like the consistency. I don't like the wear. It creases. It's very powdery, a lot of kick-up. These you don't get as much kick-up, I find. I really like the blendability of these. Usually for pigments you place and then you kind of press them together, but I find that these blend together really nicely even though they are pressed pigments. That's just a personal thing that I've noticed. Then I'm going to go ahead and take the Morphe M505, which is a very fluffy brush with no like pinched ferrule. It's just a rounded ferrule, and I'm going to go in with A1 with a little bit of A4. So this one here and this one here. You can see there's a tiny bit of hiccup in the, like, just around the eyeshadows, but that's all that came off that was excess, so I'm not too worried about that. But I want to take both of these together to make some kind of a cream shade for my brow area, so hopefully this works. The white is definitely showing up like crazy on my brow bone though, and I wish there was a more like yellow or like a lighter nude shade to kind of blend that out. But I'm just gonna have to blend like crazy. So I'm just kind of going over everything to deepen it up and blend out that crease area. It is a little hard, but I think I managed okay. So what I want to do now is just do the outer portion of my outer lid, like this area here. And I'm going to use my MAC 217S, which is their new synthetic 217 brushes. And I'm just going to take off some of this excess powder that we have going on here because I can't stand looking at it, honestly. I like a clean palette. I like to have a very clean palette. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is something more purple and fun. I was gonna do a little more depth and stuff, but I think I want to go with more purple and fun. So I'm gonna put E5, which is, or this is E5, it's D5 right here in my outer corner. Very, very blended. I might deepen it up with a little bit of E5, but so far I'm just gonna take D5 on my MAC 217S brush. And I just want to press that into the outer portion. You can see that pressing these on works really, really well. And then blending them out and adding as you go is probably your best bet, because these are going to be really, really strong as far as pigmentation goes. I should have zoomed you guys in a little bit, maybe. That'll be as good as I can get it for now. And I'm just going to add and then really push that into my crease. But I want to bring the brightness of that vibrant, like purpley, reddish purple into the outer corner and the crease. And what I'm liking about this eyeshadow color, or this pigment color, is the fact that as you add it, for me anyway, it seems to look really nice and vibrant on the lid or on the crease. I don't know if that's because I had the other shade laid down first, but I'm really enjoying this particular color. There's a couple that look very similar, honestly, but they're like shades off or hues off. So there's definitely differences, but are they that different when you put them on the eye? I don't know, we'll see. As I use this, I'll be able to tell more. So I just want to focus that in the crease and in the outer corner. And then I'm going to take a bit of E5, which is the deeper color, and just kind of lightly go over the outer portion. Just a little, just to deepen it up a bit. And then blend it just in the outer portion of my crease, and then just go crazy and blend it together. So far, it's not picking up any of that previously placed pigment. It's not skipping or anything. And then what I'm going to do is take my EB13 brush again and take whatever's just on it and simply drag it over top of the other color, just to blend that outer portion a little bit, because it is pretty dark in the outer portion, and I just want to do small circles and sort of blend those two together, if that makes sense. It does look like there's a little bit of harder color on the outer portion, but I will let you guys know that my eyes are tearing a lot lately. I have so many allergies, and as my eyes are tearing as I'm playing with the makeup, it doesn't matter what I do. I do think it's sometimes my brushes, but it picks up a bit of tear and then I blend it in and it starts to look hard there. So that's not necessarily the pigments or the eyeshadows. So I just want you guys to be aware of that before I continue on. So I didn't have any tearing on this eye. And I definitely don't see as much of that hardness as I did, but I'll have to wait until I put that other deeper color on to see. So let's just add a touch of E5. So I definitely see a little bit of a blank spot on this side, so I'm going to try and fill that in a little bit. I'm really enjoying this. I absolutely love these colors so far. I've only used a few, but so far I'm really enjoying them. I think what I'm going to do now is place a color all over the front portion or the 2/3 of my lid. So I'm going to use my Morphe R42 brush. This has a tiny bit of product from before, but I just wiped it off on the tissue. And I think what I'm going to do first is lay down a flat color, and then we're going to go in with my glitter glue from Too Faced, if I can find it here, and put some of the more shimmery colors on so that they really stick. So I think what I'm going to do all over the lid is go in with this B2 shade, which is right here. I was going to do this one, but I think I want to go in with something a little more warmer, so I'm going to go in with B2. And I'm just going to press this again all over the lid. And you can see this is more of a pastel color, but that pigmentation is just so strong. Even though it's almost like a white based eyeshadow, it's just such a strong color. So I'm just tapping it over the other color. I will go in and blend that properly in a bit, but I wanted to blend it over top of it right now. And I am going to bring this up quite a bit higher, I think. I didn't on the other eye, but I think I'm going to bring it quite a bit higher. But it's just so beautiful. If I just put a strong liner or just really bold lashes, I think this would look beautiful. But today I'm going to do very light lashes, like just my mascara. And then I'm going to focus it on the eyeshadows. I'm going to do my glitter glue now, and then we're going to go in with, let's see, which one do I want to do? I think I'm going to do A3 because it kind of looks somewhat similar to both of these. I'm going to do that one. So let's do A3. So let's take a bit of glitter glue on the back of my hand. Actually, I'm going to take a bit more. I've been going crazy with glitter glue lately. I want to try the NYX one, but I haven't had the opportunity yet, so the next time I go out, I'm going to have to try and grab that from somewhere. And this is going to pick up, I think, a bit of that product, so just be very careful when you're applying. It'll probably lift some of that pigment. So I'm going to do one at a time. And I'm going to take my brush in A3. You can use your finger, and you would probably get a lot more payoff using your finger. But I definitely want to try it with the brush first. And just note that I am getting mature skin on my lids, so my eyelids are getting a little more wrinkly than they used to be. So just keep that in mind when you see all those lines. That's my aging. So basically all I'm doing is trying to maneuver the product that's on my ring finger all over the same kind of areas that was on the other side. And then I'm just going to go back over top of that other shade with A3 again. And I just love the beautiful sparkle from this color. It's so pretty. It's just such a beautiful shade. I'm really happy with the way that this eyeshadow and pigments are turning out. I'm going to now take my ring finger onto A3 and just try and see what that is like. And I think it's looking a little more almost metallic, but it also looks thick, right? Like I've just put it on with the eyeshadow brush. This looks a lot thicker than this side. So whatever you prefer, I don't mind it looking thick and full. I actually prefer that because of the amount of makeup that I wear in general. So I'm okay plastering it on, but definitely is a personal preference. So just note that you can get two different looks if you use the brush or if you use your finger, but you will always get more pigmentation and payoff using your finger. No matter how light they are, and if you're using your ring finger or whatever, you're still going to get way more pigmentation than a brush. I think I'm going to go ahead and tidy up underneath the eyes now, and I'm going to use my, what is this called? Garnier Skin Active Micellar Water. I think I need to get a new one because it's got some floaties in it, so I think it might be expired, so I'm going to have to go get a fresh one. But I just want to clean up a little bit of that product underneath my eye. I don't know if you guys have this micellar water. Let me know if you think it should have those underneath, like in the actual product itself, because I've only just started using micellar water and I've never used it before. So please, if you don't mind, let me know. So I'm just tidying up a little bit underneath. Again, I don't have face makeup on or anything because I will be going outside with my kiddo and we're gonna go play in some water. So I don't want to have a whole bunch of makeup on, but I did want to do this eye makeup today. Now for the bottom lash line, I'm going to start off with my Morphe G27 brush, and I did wipe this off. This was previously used. And I'm gonna go in with D5 that we used on the outer portion, and I'm just gonna do that in the outer corner. I'm going to use the Morphe M408, just a short shader brush, and I'm going to go into E5, which is again the one that we did for the outer corner. I can feel this eye tearing, so I apologize if it ruins stuff. But I'm just pressing it against the lash line. It probably would look really nice if you had eyeliner in the lash line first and then went over with your eyeshadows, but because my eyes tear like crazy, if I did that it would just be worse, so I'm just doing it this way. And I'm just again going about almost half or just over half. And then on the inner portion, I want to go in with C3. I'm going to show you that color because I haven't used it yet, but it's right in the center. I'm going to go in with that shade, and then I'm going to go over top of it with A3. So let's try this. And then I'm going to go again and take A3 and just press that on. So I don't want it to take over, I don't want it to be bold like the top, I just want a little sparkle on there. And I hope you can see that, just a little bit of sparkle on top of that. In the outer corner, again, I'm going to take the same brush as I did earlier and go in with D5 and just go over top of the outer portion again. And then wipe that same brush off, and I'm going to go in with A4, which is, actually, do I want to do that? I'm going to do B2. I'll show you this. This is the lighter shade that we used on the top on the lid. So I'm going to do that instead. Just take a very little bit and just blend out the bottom portion. The nice thing is you don't need very much of the product when you're doing this. And I don't recommend you pull your eye like I'm kind of doing here. I'm trying not to, but just a very little, because I do have a lot of maturing skin and it's harder for me to, I need to get my skin taut in order to be able to blend it out. Otherwise the skin just folds over each other. You can really see in this corner that I have the tear taking away some of the product, so I'm really sorry about that. I wanted to try to avoid that today, but unfortunately it's not something that I can avoid as easily as I would like. So now I'm going to take my Morphe M455. I have a lot of Morphe brushes. This is just a very pointy, and it's actually quite a firm pencil brush, and I'm going to go in with B1, which is right here. And I'm not going to spray it or anything first, but I'm just going to take that on the inner corner. You can see that even without anything sprayed on the brush, no Fix Plus or anything, it just really makes an impact. So you don't need to go crazy with this. And I barely touched in the pan. The pigmentation of this eyeshadow palette is just really, really good. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. Oops, I'm going to touch up this, and then I'm going to leave it at that. I did want to put a little bit in my brow bone, so I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to do that. I keep changing my mind on what I want to do here, but I'm going to take the same color B1, and I'm just going to take on a Sedona 305 brush, but I'm taking the littlest amount and I'm just pressing it close to underneath my brow. And that is it. I just want to give a little bit of something. It is actually quite hard to see, so I'm just going to add a touch more actually. Let's go ahead and add some mascara now. So I'm going to use the Marc Jacobs, this is the, which one is this? Velvet Noir Major Volume Mascara by Marc Jacobs. I'm just going to go ahead and add this to my lashes. I'm not going to curl them or anything. I feel like the quality of these eyeshadow palettes are amazing. I'm super impressed by every single one that I try. I haven't tried the blue one yet because I don't normally wear blue eyeshadow, but it's definitely something I will do in the future. Gotta love putting on lower lash mascara. So here is a somewhat close-up of pigments and eyeshadows on my eyes. I really like the way that this had come out, and I can't wait to use this again. I would definitely like to do a more cat eye looking eyeshadow look using this palette. I have a couple of things that I'd like to try, like a big cut crease and a halo eye. There's just so many things that I really enjoy when I look at this palette, but I'm just excited in the fact that I own this and I love it. So I hope you guys liked this eyeshadow look. So that's everything for the eyeshadow, at least my application for this video. There is a possibility that I will be doing a few more looks with this. If you're considering getting this, I highly recommend making the splurge because it is absolutely beautiful for anyone who enjoys purple eyeshadows. And also there is sales, of course, coming up from Sephora, and I'm sure Norvina website will have sales as well. So if you want to wait and maybe get it a little bit cheaper, do that. I actually used my Sephora points and I got $10 off of this when I bought it. So it was $10 less Canadian for me, which was fantastic. Because I'm not really going to be buying very much anymore. I'm going to try really hard not to spend in the next few months. So, but that's it. I just wanted to thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this look and everything. Thank you so much again, and have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.